In this video, I will be ranking Minecraft's removed features in a tier list. From the brick pyramids to gears, I will rank the worst and the best of the removed Minecraft features all in this video. Also, if you could subscribe to me, you're supporting me and it's free, so you have the power to help me and I'd really appreciate if you did. And now, the tier list. If you don't know, the way this tier list works is that there's 5 tiers: best, good, average, faulty, and bad, and I'll be putting each Minecraft removed feature in one of these tiers. And now let's rank our first removed feature. Brick pyramids. You heard me right, brick pyramids. Now, brick pyramids were added back in 2010 and were extremely rare. But once you did find one, you'd see a giant pyramid that stretches from the max build height down to the ground. It was made up entirely of bricks and had no interior. So if you ever needed bricks to continue your chronic brick addiction, well then let's just say you were more than satisfied after finding one of these. Now, brick pyramids were the only way to obtain bricks at the time, but that didn't last long because only 1 month after brick pyramids were added, they were swiftly taken away. It's not too bad though, because later on we ended up getting desert pyramids, which, let's be honest here, are much better than the brick ones. Now, would Minecraft be better if we had brick pyramids? Probably not, but they also weren't hurting anyone. Brick pyramids are an average tier. Now, fish. So fish were removed back in the 1.13 aquatic update. Before we had cod or salmon, when you caught a fish, it was just simply called raw fish. Now, fish came in 2 varieties, cooked and raw, and just like your typical beef or pork chop, and unlike chicken, cooking fish just simply restored more hunger than the raw version, and eating fish raw didn't poison you. So unsurprisingly, fish were mostly acquired by fishing, but could have also been bought off a villager. Now, fish got removed in 1.13 and were replaced by other fish such as cod and salmon, which are now actual 3D modeled mobs compared to the simple bubbles you saw before you caught an OG fish. It still feels like we never lost fish, since cod and salmon are basically the same thing but better. Although fish weren't terrible, fish are an average tier. Humans. Now, back in 2009 in Minecraft Classic, there was a mob known simply as Human. It had a default Steve skin and would just walk around in a very weird way, just throwing its arms and head around. Now, humans weren't originally aggressive, but later on they got updated so they could then attack you, which can be pretty scary seeing these things coming at you. Now, if you ever wanted to find a human, then it was extremely easy, because for some reason you were able to spawn humans just by simply pressing G on the keyboard. But don't think this was OP or anything, because humans didn't drop anything, so they were basically useless. Overall, it's probably best that humans were removed. Bad tier. Old villager houses. We all remember these, right? I mean, who could forget the good old library? The old wells, these weird looking hut things. Now, much like fish, old villager houses were never completely removed, but rather changed in the 1.14 village and pillage update to the villager houses we see today. But don't think the old villager houses weren't good. I mean, they had lampposts, okay? They were amazing. Okay, maybe it was best that they were updated. Old villager houses are a faulty tier. Now, horse saddles. So in a 1.6.1 snapshot, Mojang decided to add horse saddles to the game, which acted just like regular saddles but could only be put on horses. Now, unlike normal saddles, which at the time were only used to ride pigs, these new horse saddles could actually be crafted, which is pretty crazy considering how rare saddles are today. Now, all you needed to craft one of these was 5 leather and 3 iron, which by the look of the saddle itself, this definitely does seem like an accurate crafting recipe. Horse saddles then eventually got removed a couple snapshots later, and they just settled on using normal saddles to ride horses. But honestly, I think having horse saddles would have been pretty cool, especially since they had a crafting recipe. Overall, horse saddles are a good tier. Super secret settings. Now, in a 1.7.2 snapshot in September 2013, Mojang added a strange button in the options menu of Minecraft. This button was simply titled Super Secret Settings. Now, clicking on this button would suddenly play a sound effect and apply a random filter on your screen. Now, this filter didn't change anything gameplay wise, but definitely did change the way you perceive things around you in Minecraft. As far as I know, there wasn't a real reason why this was added, so I can only assume it was just for fun. And fun it was. I mean, honestly, I don't know why they removed this feature. It just seems like an innocent, cool little option. And I really think they should add it back into the game. The super secret settings are a good tier. Now, the lost mobs. So the lost mobs are a group of 4 mobs that were added in Minecraft back in early 2010. Now, these mobs aren't actually called the lost mobs, but they don't have a collective group name, so that's why it decided to call them. But while they don't have a group name, each individual mob does have its own name. According to the Minecraft wiki, their names are Reyna, Steve, Black Steve, and Beast Boy. These mobs had no animations and just moved around in one still pose. Pretty creepy if you ask me. I mean, these mobs don't even look like they belong in Minecraft, and I guess the team at Mojang thought the same thing because they were removed shortly after they were added. Now, they are a cool part of Minecraft history, but these mobs are really just something that I wouldn't want back into the game. The lost mobs are a faulty tier. Gears. So gears were an item that could only be placed on the sides of a block, and all they did was just rotate. They had no use and there was no way to obtain them without cheats. Now, gears were added back in 2010, and as far as I know, no one knows why gears were truly added, but either way, they were removed about 5 months after they were added. Now, I mean, it would be cool to have gears back if they had a use, but if they came back today and they were just as useless as when they left, then I don't think there would really be a point to that. I think gears are really just a bad tier. Now, one that's actually been removed multiple times, or has it? Herobrine. And you know what? I think we could all just agree that Herobrine is a best tier. I mean, come on, I had to put Herobrine at a best tier, almost like I was forced to. Well, maybe because I was.